All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Greenbox Gaming plays Delta Green Impossible Landscapes, and not just any old episode of Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. Oh no, this ain't your grandpappy's game of Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. This is the season premiere for Chapter 2, also known as. And let me go ahead and switch it over here. So if you guys are already on Roll20, you should be able to see it.
We got a new board.
Yeah, this is we are in Chapter 2, a volume of secret faces. This is the next part. It's the next section, the next chapter, and oh boy, guys, is this one a bit of a freaking doozy. Like, it is, this one's gonna be spicy.
Look, nobody died last time. I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, so is this a picture of the clown? Is that what that's supposed to be?
I will say for your meta knowledge, yes. Assume that this is what the clown that that Benji has been seeing has looked like.
Is his name India Moon?
No, this is that's okay. The guys saw their board ahead of time, so they've seen just a little bit. But yeah, so his name is not India Moon.
You would like it to be if you could make that revision for me.
Okay, I'll look into. Let me tell you. I'm gonna get a hold of Shane Ivey and Dennis Detweiler. We're gonna get this changed up. They're gonna put out. They could put out a change and record it officially.
I appreciate you doing that for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can he also have a very tiny car in the background?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm really loving all these edits for the people who actually went through all the trouble of building this campaign that you guys have. It's a lot of really awesome constructive feedback.
I think it would help my immersion personally.
Fair enough.
But I will say, that is way creepier than what I was imagining.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm seeing the same thing you're seeing, because I'm just seeing like an elderly guy on the screen.
Oh, did it not switch you over?
Huh?
Yeah, let me relog.
Yeah, relog. Sorry, yeah. You're not seeing what you're supposed to see.
I mean, this is definitely like, it's like looks almost like a porcelain mask.
Yeah,
clown
I'm thinking
thing.
marionette clown.
Yeah, with a semi like.
Floors.
Okay, so you guys had no idea what I was saying when I said India Moon.
No, I did.
I just pulled that out of my ass.
No, we caught that from before.
You were talking about the man's picture that was. I remember what it looked like. Yeah. So you thought we were talking about that?
Yeah, I thought the guy was the clown.
The random dude. Okay.
That's me.
No.
That's creepy as hell.
Yeah. But
that would be funnier if that was just a random dude with a clown nose.
But before we get started here, though, there's something I wanted to ask you guys here on the top side. What are you guys', like, Delta Green is a game about conspiracy, that's the Delta Green organization is itself, this incredible conspiracy to, kind of like the Men in Black, to protect the world from the unknown. What are you guys' favorite conspiracy theories? What's your go-to? Not like necessarily
pigeons.
Not. I knew it's Jean with these pigeons, man. He never
pigeons.
He never shuts up about it.
I'm just having days about this today. I came up with this shit before the internet came out. I knew it. They just confirmed it for me.
You really was talking about that earlier today.
I will kind of say. I'm not saying what is the conspiracy theory that you think is the most believable. I'm just saying the one that you think is the most interesting. Like your just favorite one.
That's the most
for me,
believable.
it's gotta be the round Earth theory for me. I think I just like.
Oh, round Earth. Man.
So
on a sphere,
like these people, this whole cult of people. Just pushing their beliefs, and they're so adamant about it.
Well, and at some point in time, I mean, it's like, where's the proof? Where's the proof?
Where's the proof?
I mean,
Show me.
have you ever tried to walk on a ball? It's impossible.
It's impossible. You can't do it.
Unless you're a clown.
Unless you're
Or a seal.
And now we're back to Delta Green. Okay.
Unless your name is India Moon. Honey.
All right, so it's round Earth theory for days. Yeah, I didn't even introduce us. Jesus, I'm Joe, the handler. I'm joined by my good friends. Brad playing U.S. Marshal Hank Ellis, by Days playing blues historian Benji, and by
Hey, bitches and bitchettes, it's Dace.
and that's Dace's real voice. And Jean playing Benedict, our investigative journalist and editor. But anyway, so like I don't know, like out of all of the conspiracy theories, like the round Earth one. God, now you got me saying it. I meant to say flat Earth.
Have you ever seen that video of like the guy like putting up the holes and like trying to disprove it,
And then
it actually proves that it's
it,
round?
yeah.
It's like interesting. It's like holes, and they're shining a light through it, and they don't see the light on the other side. And the guy's like, raise it a couple inches. And he raises it, and he can see the light. And he's like, interesting.
Damnedest thing. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not too familiar with a bunch of crazy conspiracy theories besides like the random, moon landings fake.
That's a good
shit
one.
like that.
Jet
I don't know.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Oh yeah.
9/11. I don't know of any ones besides like the big ones like that. So I don't know of any like very. And those don't seem that interesting to me. They seem kind of dumb. So I don't have a favorite conspiracy.
You're like highbrow on the conspiracy theory front. You need something with a bit more texture, a bit more flavor.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, a real answer for me is MK Ultra. If anybody has seen the movie Men Who Stare at Goats.
Not a conspiracy theory.
Not a conspiracy, yeah.
No.
Just history.
I feel like it falls in the same vein though, because
Yeah.
like how much did they actually do? Like they definitely gave people LSD and stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess the conspiracy theory element of it would be, were they able to control people's minds? Which was kind of the, the desire, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on it. I just think it's kind of interesting
And I
that
think-
that shit actually happened.
I mean, I think we can all
but you
agree.
should.
I think we can all agree that
That's
Men
how
Who
you-
Stare at Goats is an excellent documentary, and should be
Fantastic.
considered to be a first level
Exactly.
source. Anyone who's listening to this, or watching this, who's thinking about writing a paper on it, definitely put Men Who Stare at Goats in your reference list. That is,
agreed.
it is, I think, a seminal source for academic historical knowledge.
Irrefutable, some might say.
Irrefutable. Yeah.
Also,
Let's
you
just
you should profess to be an expert. Like that's your first rookie mistake, man. You can't say I profess to not be an expert in this. Like you're 3 steps behind. You need to get ahead.
Got so
Gotta get
much to
ahead.
learn from you, John.
About
Let's just be
conspiracy
extremely
theories.
sarcastic this entire podcast, so everybody thinks we're stupid.
Right. Well, I think I think my favorite, like, I just think everything about the about Area 51 and aliens, crashing in the desert out there. I just think that all of that, like, to me, it's all like pretty cut and dry. It's like, I mean, it's a secret airbase where they test secret planes that the Soviets weren't supposed to know about, and and they found an unknown aircraft, and the Air Force covered it up. Aliens! Like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Not
guys.
saying it's aliens, but
All right, I did think of one that I do like.
Okay.
Actually,
All right, let's see.
the Mothman prophecy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dude, I was not really familiar with it. Have you guys ever heard of BuzzFeed's Unnatural or BuzzFeed Supernatural, whatever it's called?
You've told me about it before.
Yeah, it's these 2 guys. It's really fun. Anyone's listening to it, go watch BuzzFeed Unsolved, BuzzFeed Unnatural. It's Shane and Ryan, So it's these two guys, one of which is a believer in. It's mainly about ghost and stuff like that, but they also do like Bigfoot and the Mothman. One of them is an absolute believer in this stuff, and then the other one is just an absolute skeptic, and just the kind of dyad of that, just like in action, or one's like constantly jumping at shadows and like, oh, something touched me, and the other one's like, no, that's a breeze blew through here.
You're wearing your jacket.
It's like the whole dynamic on the X-Files.
You have
Foley and
clothes.
Mueller.
Yeah. But I never knew about Mothman until that.
It's not a bad movie. That's where I found out about it. The Richard Gere.
There's a movie?
A 90s movie that's pretty good with Richard Gere starring. But also the Wikipedia page is really good too. So
it's like
check both out.
Really interesting kind of horror. It's like just really creepy, and it actually like I'm not susceptible to a lot of horror other than like oh god, what's that Ari Aster movie? Hereditary. That's a fantastic. I think we've talked about those before. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just like really creepy, and it's really well executed.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to give it a go. It's might be something good to give a look for some weekend watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me want to watch it. Yeah. Probably like that.
Well, how would you guys like to get into Chapter 2 of Impossible Landscapes?
I just have one other thing to say up top.
All right. Let's do it.
My mom might be tuning in for the stream, so I would just like everybody to be on their best behavior and mind your fucking manners and watch your fucking language. And hey, Mom, I love you.
That's that's fair. Yeah, and for anyone who attempts to watch this, so apparently we've got some issues with the live stream. We're gonna try to get those fixed at some point so the live stream is watchable, but the recordings are still pretty good. So anyway, before we get into Delta Green, Chapter 2, a volume of Secret Faces, I'm afraid that we need to do just a tiny little bit of housekeeping.
Oh, Lord.
Just a little tiny bit.
Someone's got a new character.
Well, first of all, that is something I want to mention at the top. Jean actually said something about he, in his brash and blasé way that he does. Jean said, "Well, no one died in the last mission."
Oh no!
Said nobody died. All right. I'm not killing any of your characters right now. That's not what's happening. If that's what was crossing your mind.
It's fine. Honestly, I won't miss Benedict if you kill him all.
I mean, I've got a character right here, and you know the one, and I'll fucking whip him out. I'm not scared.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about?
Talking about Finnegan Elcott.
Finnegan Elcott.
Oh
man, dude, Finnegan might be good. But so here's the thing. It is something I want you guys to think about. This is our first sit down recording. This is gonna be episode 1 and 2. That we're doing right now. I mean, less likely that you guys are gonna die. That one of your characters is gonna die in freaking session or 1 or 2, right? But that being said, going forward, it might be a good idea to go ahead and have something on lock, to have a character idea, kind of ready to go. And one of the things I'm actually going to do in Roll20, or I'm going to try to remember to do, is go ahead and just give you each a new character sheet so that you can roll up a new character. And I think that you guys need to have a prepared character in pocket, already rolled and ready to go. I'm not saying that your guys are going to die. I'm not saying that. I would never say that.
Off right now.
Side huddle, guys. So I think whoever dies needs to immediately be Finnegan to dissuade Joe from killing us. Not just Madison can play Finnegan, any of us can. So the next person that dies.
We all play Finnegan. He gets a split personality of all of us.
I'm so on board for that. 3 Finnegans.
All of that.
That would be utter chaos.
That would be wild. Man.
Excellent.
You better not kill us, Joe.
Finnegan.
Yeah. The good thing is...
Good to meet you. I'm Finnegan. Yes. I'm Finnegan Elcott. No, I'm Finnegan Elcott. Pleased to meet you both. I am Finnegan Elcott. Doctor.
Finnegan card.
Wait, wasn't he a doctor? Because he
Dr. Finnegan card.
because
What was the reason?
he had a
I can't
PhD and an MD.
Wow.
So he was doctor. Anyway,
I have to. Yeah.
Finnegan Elkhart aside, that was a character from our control group game that we played, which was really
I
good.
suspect we'll see him.
Yeah, it was so good.
There's
Anyway,
not much to know. He's just Australian and insane.
Utter psychopath. He's maybe the funnest character I've ever played, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
But so have a character idea on lock. Have a, and like I said, we'll see what we can do about getting, actually having something ready to go, and and if you guys need help building the character or rolling up another character, like we can do it. Keeping in mind, you guys rolled really, really strongly on the characters you currently have. So don't bet on having that again. So the second thing is a little more focused. It's old Benji. Benji.
God.
One of the things
What
that
has-
as I was listening
just gonna-
back, and I was listening back to the bit where Benji goes on a special operation to, he kind of goes on a special home scene mission to build up some unnatural skill.
Mm-hmm.
And you rolled crazy well on that.
Yeah.
You got a critical success on that roll. That being said, even on successful rolls on most skill building stuff, you should take bond damage. And because that was not built in specifically to this, I think it should still happen.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, now because you rolled a critical, I'm going to say it's only 1 bond damage.
Let me
So,
whip out the old character sheet.
yep, whip up the old character sheet and go ahead and slap one of those characters with the old bond damage.
Just 1 point of damage, or is it like the bond is stricken?
No, just 1 point. Just 1 point of damage because you got a critical success.
Just one. We can kill 5 sons in one, or get
Yeah.
rid of 5.
I'm still bitter about that.
Dear God, I cannot believe that. What were their
Let
names?
go.
Are their names on your character sheet, by the way?
I'm in character now, Joe, and I don't know their names anymore. It's lost to me.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm a broken man.
Do you actually not recall their names?
No, I don't.
Shit.
That's brutal.
The youngest
Brad,
one
we
was
have-
Junior.
Oh, one of them was JJ. I thought the last of them was JJ.
Was
Oh,
there
you're talking
Josiah?
about the homeless
The men.
people out
The
there.
homeless
Oh,
men.
Oh yeah, they're Jethro, Jonah, Jude, Julius, and JJ.
Nailed it.
God. All right. So I'm glad we've got that. So
Yeah, I know my new son's names.
But the others
of
did you.
course, of course.
He's not a monster, Joe.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull you guys over to our new gameplay screen, which you actually accidentally have already seen, but we're gonna move over here anyway. This is our new gameplay screen, and let me make sure that the stream is picking that up. It is, but it is terribly off-center. Let's see. There we go. All right. So, as we get started, so first and foremost, we have skipped forward. We kind of talked about it already a little bit, but we've skipped forward in time a great deal. And one of the things I asked you guys to think about at the end of last time was what is kind of like what your characters look like in 2015. So at this point, we'll go ahead and start with let's start with Benedict. Sean, what does Benedict physically look like in the year of 2015?
So Benedict recently came into some money.
That's right.
Through some dealings, some wheelings, some dealings, some art, and etc. etc. So he's suited up these days. He's now clean shaven. He can afford to kind of spend. So he's very clean. He's got a suit on most of the time, whereas before he looked like some journalist or some other street urchin. And but now he wears a suit all day, every day, and he's very well groomed. He hasn't really looked after himself. Like some of the wealth that he's accrued has led him to be a bit gluttonous. So he's definitely picked on a couple of pounds.
Oh, okay. How old
but
is he now?
He wears it well. He wears it well. I think he is approaching how many years since the last operation?
It's been 20.
He's 62.
Good
Yeah.
lord.
Shit.
He's 62. He was 42. So
Yeah.
God.
he's almost a bit of a grey fox, but I'd say a bit of a hefty grey fox. If I may.
Is a gray fox like a tier under a silver fox? Like he's kind of hot,
Yeah.
but not that hot.
Mm.
No, it's a grey fox. It is what it is. There's no silver. He's just a muted grey fox in a suit.
All right. Now what about Benji? What's Benji looking like?
Brad laughed at me when I said this, but I think he's looking like. Actually, I don't want to influence people's opinions of him like that. But he basically looks more like an actual blues man than he ever has before in his life. He would be 48 now, and he's probably like, sunken eyes, like wrinkly skin, like tanned leather kind of skin, scraggly beard. Like he's been through some shit in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, this is a super obscure reference to a local Hills Country blues musician, but he looks kind of like Kenny Brown.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
I
nobody knows
don't
that
know
reference.
Kenny
That's
Brown.
what he looks like to me.
All right.
Just like a grizzled old lanky dude.
He's the youngest one out of all of us.
Yeah. How old is he?
48.
48. Okay. All right. What about old Hank? Now Hank's in his 60s now too.
Surprised me. I looked. So he is 68 now.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
my god.
So he is definitely an old man. He's still like stout. He's got a little bit of limp in his leg. I mean, he's just like he's got the old man aches and pains, and
Yeah.
he's still doing his job as a marshal just to have something to do, I think, and comes home every day, drinks 6 beers, eats his TV dinner, and takes care of his what he thinks is his sons now, since he forgot the memory. He's been
His
disconnected from
surrogate
sons,
sons.
and makes them soup every day for dinner.
Soup.
So you're running this
love it.
weird soup kitchen out of your home.
That's all they'll eat. They love it.
He's the kindest man I know.
That's all they'll eat. Brilliant.
Those
to them,
homeless
not
they
me.
sure love their soup.
God,
Those are my sons.
Always eating that soup.
are my
Those homeless.
Let me tell you, if there's any reason, that if there's any one thing that you can blame, American American homelessness on, it's the thirst for soup. Just an intense, insatiable hunger for soup.
Google search, why do homeless people love soup so much?
Oh my god.
I mean, they.
Oh man. That's all they serve in those kitchens, man. Oh man.
You'd think they would like a nice steak or something, but no,
Right.
they just want soup.
They like sloppy steaks.
Floppy steak.
So
Does
with-
Hank
a sp-
ever accidentally call one of them his son's name? Or his son's names?
Oh, of course not. He can't even remember his
just totally
son's
whacked.
name.
I can't even
to me.
remember them.
I can't believe you've lost their names. Like, wait, do I
He's
have
such a great method actor.
do I have it written down here? God, I don't.
Is it like intentional? Is it like repressed? Or do you think he has a touch of dementia
Definitely
or
repressed.
something?
I mean, he is getting up
think
there.
He literally has lost the connection with all his ex-wives and his sons, so he believes these are his sons, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Oh, what? Geez, seriously?
that's
Yes.
intense.
He calls them his boys.
It's a bold stance.
Yeah.
That's his boys.
How old are his boys?
They're all grown men.
They were grown men 20 years ago.
All right.
Are any one of these people older than he is?
Of course, please. Please.
Please make
Please.
him. Yes.
That's up
98
for Joe to decide.
Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. I feel like JJ, the one you kind of treat as your surrogate youngest, is the oldest.
He's in diapers, but he's in diapers.
Oh my god.
He went full Benjamin Button.
This has gotten dark, man. That's bizarre. So
Does he look a little bit like Brad Pitt?
we're done. We're done talking about
moving on?
Hank's awful situation with these 5 men living in his home. Oh my god. All right. So here's a question, actually, and this is probably more, like working in the newspaper, working in the news industry, being an editor, but also kind of having his own side thing. Like Benedict being older, like it's not that odd. Benji being a professor. Does Benji are you still teaching at Juilliard?
No, I don't think so. I think that life is behind him.
Did you ever get your doctorate though?
Yes.
Okay. So do you adjunct or like come in for lectures or anything? Do you have any association with Juilliard?
No, I don't think he has any academic association whatsoever. I think he's like a full-time musician now, playing at dive bars and shit.
What about the guys over at Miskatonic? What if they reach out to you? They want some of that occultic goodness in one of their classrooms.
What is Miskatonic?
It's a university. Of course you've heard about it. It's near Boston.
Do they have classes on occultism?
They sure do.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that would be something that Benji would be willing to teach.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely, there's like, they're probably under the sphere of like religion and philosophy in a way, but they're really occult classes.
Yeah, he would like go in with the guise of religion and philosophy and then really just push the cult narrative.
Yeah.
I don't-
Well,
Yeah.
so then
He's like that meme of Charlie from It's Always Sunny. He's like got the board behind him.
Yeah. 100%.
So Hank is how old? 68?
68. That's what I did the math.
Yeah, I mean that has to be it. So then if you're 68, then you're probably not doing a lot of field work for the U.S. Marshals anymore. And especially like after we kind of covered this in session 0, after 2002, after the terrorist attacks, September 11th, the Department of Homeland Security just it was created. It brought all these agencies together and it just boomed this idea of national security, and the U.S. Marshals are a part of that. And the Marshals are way bigger than they ever were when you were really at your prime. And so there's really not necessarily a need for you to be like out in the field and just to be the guy. What do you think Hank has been doing for the Marshals?
Well, it sounds like they kind of, I don't know if he has much interest to be in the field at that age. I don't think anyone really would. So he's probably got like some kind of desk job at this point.
Yeah.
Do
you think he has like do you think he's like a mentor, or do you think he's just like riding it out and he's like, I'm just gonna get this done and get the hell out of here?
He's just riding it out, I think
Okay.
he probably tried to like, still had the girl in his mind that they never found in the last mission, but now it's just like the King of Yellow's just collecting dust somewhere and he's forgot all about it.
The funny thing is, like, I think that actually really is like something that happens, like, or that might even be something that you're known as, like, who's that guy over there? Who's that old guy sitting, at the desk in the corner? It's like, oh, that's Hank Ellis. It's like, oh, I've heard of him. Like, he used, maybe you used to have a reputation. They're like, yeah, something happened in the 90s, and he's just not the same afterwards. He got a little bit obsessed with a mission or an operation that didn't come to fruition, and he just kind of broke him, and now he's just kind of this I don't know, like an artifact of a different time, kind of in the back corner of the U.S. Marshal's office there in New
Didn't he
York.
go out with Cindy?
Yeah, I guess that's
Like
one of my bonds
cigarette.
now.
Well, I think
So,
that you had said
obviously
that.
we still-
I think that you had said that you and Cindy don't have a romantic relationship, but that you got a little closer as colleagues, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and Cindy's been there through the '90s too, and she's still there, and she's older now as well. You know, she was in her like mid-20s then. I mean, but now she's in her mid-40s, and you're, you know, and you're in your late 60s. You know, and she's someone who knows, you know, knows everything, and she knows that this case and this, and she's been the one. She probably knows more about this case that you've been looking into than anyone else, because you have to go to her to get the evidence, because she's the evidence room person.
How does Cindy feel about the situation at home? Is Cindy at home with you?
What do you think, Joe? I don't. Me and Hank wouldn't like you said. They're just like work friends. I would think more so.
I think that she's probably
part of the-
concerned that you've invited 5 men. I don't know. Did you tell her?
20 years.
I don't think she's.
20 years.
Well, I don't know. They haven't been
How do
living
you
with them
keep
for 20
this
years.
secret for 20 years?
I don't think he's keeping it secret. He's just saying, "Oh, I've been taking care of my boys." You know.
Boys?
Aren't your? Hey Hank, aren't your boys grown? Oh yeah, yeah they are.
They grow up so fast.
All right. All right, so
Oh, God.
so that's what's going on. So you guys are all of age, not necessarily super well. You know, you've all got some new weird obsessions. I think Benedict's got a really weird statue of Michelle that he probably still has around. I don't.
God.
That's
What's the stand for his new friend Papua New Guinea?
Papua New
more than
Guinea,
anything.
the pigeon, which may or may not be a government spy. Just saying.
Robot bird.
Anyway, it is 2015, guys. It is 2015, and it is, President Obama is, at the end of his second term. Looks like, no one really believed that Donald Trump was actually going to get involved in politics, but apparently he's giving it a go for the Republicans.
Oh, God.
In the United States, the big things that's kind of been happening, there's been another mass shooting, this one at a church, and this is, kind of struck, the nation in a way that a lot of mass shootings haven't. There's also a lot of kind of civil unrest going on around, police violence on black people, black communities, and that's kind of that, all of that, with BLM and the like Antifa movement, like they're not started yet, but they're like kind of getting going, like they're just kind of starting to grow a little bit at the grassroots level. Internationally, there's been a bunch of terrorist attacks in France recently, and it looks like the United States is, as far as anyone knows, is still not giving up in Afghanistan. So, but you guys are in New York and have, you guys lived through the rigors of 9/11, and now here we are in 2015.
Let's not forget that Tame Impala released his iconic classic Currents in 2015 as well.
That's a good one.
Okay, Roger.
With that note,
Point of note.
On that note, so Hank is listening to Currents on a CD player with headphones.
so awfully forward for a 68-year-old man.
Yeah, when there's you're sitting there just like listening to this. You're in your apartment, and there's a knock at the door, but you don't hear it because you're wearing headphones, listening to Current. But luckily Jonah. Sorry, was it Jonah or Jude? It's what?
Those are both.
Okay,
people.
Jonah and Jude both fight each other to get to the door first. Jonah eventually tripping Jude in the hallway as they both run to the door and excitedly open. And as they open the door, they just see the back of a delivery person hit the corner and turn, and there is a note laying there at the table, or at the floor, and they pick it up and bring it to you. Benji, you are, you're probably just getting home, and as you get home that evening, or maybe even you're just waking up if you're playing a lot of music, and maybe you're getting ready to go play at a blues club. Maybe you're just waking up and you see an envelope that's been slid underneath your door. Benedict, you are just winding down for the day, admiring the bust of Michelle there in absolute total silence in your home, drinking a cup of tea, when there's a knock at the door, and you open it up, and there's a courier who hands you an envelope. Inside, each of you receive this, and if you look on the Roll20 screen, you receive this invitation. I will make it bigger for us to read for the time being. Would one of you please read that for me?
Please join us to celebrate the 51st birthday of our friend Richard Zeloni at the Gateway Budge's Restaurant, 9011 Potash Street, Boston, Massachusetts.
So, at the top, for those of you who are listening, it's a beautiful piece. It looks like handwritten, like pressed invitation, like very fancy. That has this beautiful calligraphied message written out, and sent at the top center of the invitation is a green triangle. Now, each of you sees this, and it's been a long time. None of you have been activated none of you have been activated since 95. You haven't even so much as thought of Delta Green, as the organization itself. The last time you actually had contact was with Marcus in 2007. So it's been a while, and here you are receiving a summons.
Wow. Hank spits his beer out from his mouth.
Just listen to Currents and drink it. And Jonah's
sees the symbol.
And Jonah's like, "What is it, Hank? What is it? Is it good? Can you read it to me? Read it to me, Hank. Read it to me."
Sit down, boy. It's not good at all. He slowly gets up and walks to this case. He hasn't opened in a long time, and dusts off the dust and gets his old revolver out.
Yeah. This is like your personal piece.
Yeah.
What's Benji do?
Fuck.
What does Benedict do?
Benedict's just like, oh, shit, I hate opening mail.
He hasn't even looked at me yet. He's like, whoa.
PTSD from opening stuff.
Yeah,
and looking at flyers.
You drag yourself into the kitchen to get a knife to cut it open, because God forbid you just tear it up with your hands. What about Benji?
Yeah, I'll pick up the invitation and kind of look at it. And he'll look over at his cat. Sadly, Alibaba has passed away in the last 20 years.
It does
happen. It was real sad. It was a whole thing. But now he's got a new cat. It's a mangy looking motherfucker, and its name is Muskie Casegraves. And he says, "I'm Muskie. Looks like it's time for another round." And it slams a shot of whiskey.
I love the another round. All right, so
Did she have an album out in 2015? Okay.
So
Fact checking me, bro.
fact checking me. So one of the things I will go ahead and let you know, Hank, with your forensics skills of 32, which you have, you looking at this and like immediately you kind of go, like I said, maybe you haven't done a lot of field work for a long time, but Hank goes straight into like all of that instinct immediately bubbles up to the surface as you slam the paper down and you bring a light over to it and you're like looking at it and you're thinking back to what you learned about like a handwriting analysis, and you immediately know that that whoever like from your skill in forensics and for what you've picked up in the past, that all you can really make out just immediately is that whoever wrote this is right-handed and likely a man. That's kind of the two big things you take away from it immediately, and that's just from you having a forensics level that you do.
Yeah, I mean, now that I wasn't even looking at the handwriting until you said something like that, but there is like, just for the viewers, it's like there's this weird like light squiggling out to the side. Some letters are kind of like jagged, so it is kind of got some strange handwriting on it. Okay, yeah. But a man that's right-handed, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big thing you're picking up on.
And that little curl at the top of the invite, is that of any consequence? It's like it looks like there's some kind of manila backing.
Well,
that's interesting.
Benji,
Benedict starts to fiddle with it. He's like looking at the corner of it. He's like, "What the hell is this?" And the two pieces of paper pull apart.
Oh, he closes his eyes. He's like, no!
Inspiration. Give him the juice.
You know what? Wow. Episode 1, Benedict, you get the juice. The juice.
Nice job, Benedict.
You get the juice. Benedict, put the juice down in your inventory. Keep in mind, I think Benji still has some juice. Did you ever use it?
Does it last for 20 years?
I don't know if it really lasts.
Absolutely.
It's a well-aged juice. 95, a good vintage.
All right, I'll try to make this extra big so that the folks in the stream can kind of see it. You see, as you pull this apart, you see that this is like two pieces of paper kind of like glued together. And as you look at it, you don't... Well, do you have... What's your forensics skill for Benedict?
Oh. It's 0. Absolute 0.
Okay.
But he's good at other stuff.
What kind of stuff are you... What other stuff are you good at? What kind of stuff are you actually good at, Benedict?
Bureaucracy. He's seen a manila envelope in his life with his bureaucracy.
I know a manila envelope when I see one.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely recognizes, surely, the sigil.
There is something. So, what you do see is you see, for those of you watching, there is a second piece of paper. And it has, on the inside of it, it has written in a similar hand. It looks like the exact same hand that wrote the front side. It has, "Our London business is good, but Vienna and Berlin are quiet. Mr. D. Lloyd has gone to Switzerland, and I hope for good news. He will be there a week at 1496 Zermatt Street, and then go to Turin and Rome to join Colonel Perry to arrive at Athens, Greece, November 27th or December 2nd. Letters there should be addressed to King James Boulevard, 3580. We expect Charles E. Fuller Tuesday, Dr. L. McQuaid, and Robert Unger Esquire left on the YX Express tonight." Now that is bizarre gobbledygook, and you don't know what any of it means.
Ooh, look at that seal.
Yes, but
That's
there
what I'm
is
saying,
but
yeah.
down at the bottom there is a seal. A seal that that Benedict no doubt recognizes. It is the seal of a demon from the Ars Goetia. A seal that you guys had located, had pulled out of the junk-filled room. A seal that may have even been involved in whatever happened to Jeremy 20 years ago in 1995. The seal of the demon called Person, P-U-R-S-O-N.
Damn, John, nice job.
As soon as you...
I thought that was just like aesthetics.
As soon as Benedict pulls this down and you look at it, all of a sudden, in the room as the fire alarm goes off. But it's more than a fire alarm, as Benedict is rocked down to his knees with the sound as it just reverberates in his head. And then as it, and you hold your ears and hold them as the sound fades into the fire alarm. You hear some people moving around in the hallway, and some people are like, oh, we have to evacuate, and someone says, no, where's the fire? And then shortly after, right as everyone's about to leave, the alarm goes off. Like the fire department never showed up to turn it off or anything. It just turned off. Go ahead and make our first Season 2 sanity roll for Benedict, please.
See that one coming.
That's what you get for being observant.
That's what you fucking get.
That is a failure, 91 over 50.
Go ahead and just take one sanity point damage. Just one.
Is
So keep in mind,
one away from his breaking point.
how much. So are and
Did he get any more sane over the years? No, he didn't.
Not
right?
really.
With all the personal stuff.
no, not really.
Not really.
Not really.
That's not how sanity works.
So but here's the thing. Actually, let's keep in
While he
mind
looks at his pigeon out of the corner of his eye.
over
Not how
there
sanity
on
works, Papua New
the
Guinea.
over there on the right side of the over on the right side of your character sheet, underneath your sanity stuff, there are those boxes for violence and helplessness. I see that none of them are checked. Is that right?
Correct. I don't know if it's intentionally correct, but that's right.
I have to look at that. So basically, anytime you take sanity damage, and it's from violence or helplessness, which this is, it's helplessness, you are supposed to check one of those boxes.
Okay.
Like, I think that... God, you
That's
guys
probably
have...
happened a bunch of times.
Like,
Yeah, we haven't been doing that.
helplessness. Yeah, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Have I just, like, failed you as a
Marionette.
handler?
Marionette strings going up into the infinite sky. That's probably gonna cause some trauma in helplessness.
Yeah. Gosh, like, I feel like you guys have definitely...
Are those the only two categories that you can?
So
roll
there are
sanity?
3 categories of sanity damage. There's violence,
Okay.
helplessness, and the unnatural. There is no way to become immune to unnatural sanity damage.
So, yeah, we'll just have to think about that going forward, unless you can think of some instances off the top of your head.
I'm going to say this. Everyone go ahead and tick 1 in violence.
Okay.
And everyone go ahead and tick 2 in helplessness.
I already had 1 in violence and 1 in helplessness, so I think we started to do it and then just completely forgot about
Completely forgot. So let's just start there. I think that's vaguely... That's not perfect. You know what? Maybe at some point in time, like, because we have some fans out there, we have people who are listening. Like, maybe one of them's like, well, actually, you've each taken blah blah blah.
Benedict has 3.
Yeah.
Miss Ellen's gonna call us out next.
it. Yeah. Mom, if you're out there, can you let us know if we should have 2 in violence or 3 in helpless?
Yeah.
Really appreciate that feedback, Mom. Thank you.
So what happens is when you take sanity damage, X amount of times, 3 times from any of these places and don't go insane, you become adapted, which means you no longer take sanity damage from that source, period. But
wow.
there are some other drawbacks on your character. Because becoming
You don't say.
yes, because coming adapted to that kind of damage is not good. So, you see this, and it falls to the ground. Go ahead and make a roll for me for Benedict Farthington. I'm gonna say actually go ahead and make a... Don't you have, like, art journalism or something like that?
Yeah. Yep.
Go ahead and make that for me. Tell me what you get, please.
This is a success. 59 under 62.
Okay. You actually think you know what this is, because it doesn't make any sense. But you actually know that it's not supposed to make any sense. You've heard about these. These are called handwriting exemplars. This is what you would give like a police investigator to show them what your handwriting looks like. That someone would write this out, and this would prove to be, it basically has all the things in a relatively decent combination for the English language. So you know that what's written here is not supposed to say anything, per se. It's a sample of someone's writing.
Interesting. Huh.
So, yeah. At this time, I am going to go ahead and give you guys one thing. I'm going to say that you guys, over the years, maybe you established this back in 2007 when you met with Marcus. You guys it's 2015, you guys have burner cell phones that have each other's numbers, or you have each other's numbers either programmed or memorized. So go ahead and you write that on your inventory if you would, just so we can keep track of it. So you guys have the capacity to contact each other before tomorrow night. Tomorrow night being September 1st, when this meeting is supposed to take place at the Gateway Bridges restaurant. In Boston, by the way, so you guys are going to have to take the train, I guess?
Yeah, that sounds like something Hank would use to travel.
So yeah, so as a group in your separate places, like, what do you do?
I think Hank would have this burner cell phone in that old dusty chest with all his, handgun and old gear.
And like you've got your roommates looking over your shoulder. What's that, Hank? What are you doing?
Get out of here, boy, and go back to your soup. Man, business.
Oh, okay.
He shuts the door.
We're almost out of chicken noodle.
Dump some water on the tofu. I'll be out in a minute.
Oh, I hate tofu.
That's all you get.
He slammed the door.
I never did like... I don't like Julius too much, but I love all the other boys. Almost himself.
Oh, man.
So yeah, he calls. I guess we can't do a group call, but he would call both Benedict.
We could do a group call in 2016, 15
on burner cells. Sure. Can we do that, Joe?
If you guys want to get together before, and actually, we're going to say that you guys have like a day or two. You have enough time to meet up if you want to, or whatever. You just let me know what you're doing. We're going to say it's August 30th, so you have like 2 days.
Hank would bring the note, and what do y'all say? We meet at a bar or something?
Yep.
Yes, that sounds good.
Yep.
Do you meet at one of the bars that Benji's playing at?
Yeah. Does Benji have a gig at one of these spots? He's like...
yeah.
We go to see Benji perform.
The Raunchy Eel.
The Raunchy Eel. Okay.
All right.
And the two regular 60-something-year-olds sitting at the back, just like cheersing him on the stage.
Ooh. Can I walk that back? Can I say Raunchy Donkey? I think I like Raunchy Donkey better.
Raunchy Donkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys go to meet Benji at the Raunchy Donkey.
Yeah.
It's a little hole in the wall place. There's like there are like a handful of people. There are probably about a dozen people there kind of listening to the music, but everyone else, it's kind of a small place. Everyone else there is just there to drink. Like, these are serious competitive level professional drinkers who come here every night. So it's a pretty good place to just have a quiet conversation without worrying about anyone coherent picking up on you.
Nice. I'd say Hank is like cheering them on and actually having somewhat of a good time. You know,
Yeah.
maybe he probably wouldn't bring up business right away.
Well, Benji, eventually you finish your set, and there's another guy goes on after you. And, yeah, and you see Benedict and Hank sitting over at the corner booth. As you walk by, the bartender slides you your... What's that weird drink that Benji drinks with the olive oil
Olive juice.
in it?
Olive oil.
Olive juice,
It's an
hot
olive
sauce.
gin.
Yeah, gin, olive juice, hot sauce. I think that was it.
Yeah, he slides a Benji over to you.
When did this happen?
That was in the flashback when we went back to
Okay.
the Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, Benji, that was a hell of a tunes you were playing. You didn't tell me you could play like that.
Well, you never asked, partner. You're a sight for sore eyes. How the hell you been, Hank?
Oh, making do. Got a little bit of bum legs sometimes, and that's it.
How are the boys?
Oh, the boys, they're great, you know.
I'd say you got 5 bum legs.
It's good to see you, Benedict, but don't you ever talk about my sons like that.
I swear to God, if you don't ever talk to my son again.
Except for Julius, I don't like him. But it's
That's weird. Now that he says it, that's weird. You don't remember any of his sons being named Julius.
Insight check. We'll just let that slide.
they both like look at each other like.
Yeah, they just you each just real quick.
But,
Well, damn, Benedict, you're looking like a regular old gray fox over there. How the hell are you doing, old boy?
Yes, very good. Very good, thank you. I was going to bring the limo over today, but I thought, you know what? Let me just act like a normal person, and I just took the train. I took a train. Have you ever taken the train? I took a train today.
Yeah, most days. I was gonna say you look rich. Good for you, brother.
Yeah. That's it.
just nah.
And that's how that's all the sentences. Bah.
Can I get you guys some drinks or something?
Tea, please.
Sure.
I don't think they serve tea at the Raunchy Donkey.
That's all right.
They can get you some vodka, or whiskey, or a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
We're out of Paps.
Strike that.
You know what? I'll be fine. Thank you. Thank you for offering.
All right, Hank.
Let me get one of those smelly drinks you always drink,
Coming
Benji.
right up.
That's
I was trying to think of a bartender name and I just fucking whiffed. Joe, give me a bartender name.
it's Jeff.
It's like, is that a new tune?
It's Jeff the bartender.
God, it's just that easy. He's such a fucking pro.
Such a pro.
Jeff.
Jeff, you know what to do.
He's like, and Jeff's like, he just shakes his head and makes the drink and just kind of scoots it away from him out across the bar like it's gross.
Cheers,
Yeah.
fellas.
Cheers.
Good to see you.
Pip pip.
Hank drinks it.
So
What does
it's,
Hank think of
I take it you boys also got a spot of mail from the king.
Yeah, something about an invitation to some feller's 51st birthday party.
The king? Well, what is... Yes, and, you know, kind of did a little bit of, looking at this note, and, some of the old forensic skills, I could decipher that this is definitely a male's handwriting, and he's right-handed.
This is a
So,
sample handwriting.
That narrows it down a good bit, I think.
Well, and Benedict,
to
if
this
you
person.
Benedict, if you look at the other two guys, they, you know, I guess you guys bring your invitations with you, like.
Yeah.
Benedict, you look at theirs, and theirs is the same thing. It has 2 layers like yours that are like all pressed together.
And damn, Benedict, that's mighty insightful of you. Bartender, get this man some juice.
Well, thank you. What do we make of this? What are we thinking? Has anybody heard from, dare I say his goddamn name, Marcus? Has anybody heard from that little weasel?
Thank God I hadn't heard a peep from him in 20 years. That son of a bitch.
Jeez. What did this guy do to you?
We're gonna become more cantankerous as we go along in this game.
Well, Hank notices. Well, I mean, we haven't just. So Benji's is the only one that has like the 2 papers or the one peeled back. So I think
Benedict.
Hank would obviously, or sorry, Benedict. Hank would obviously like try to pull his back. Is it the same note?
Yeah, you guys all see this. It's a, you know, like I said, and Hank, you see it and immediately know what it is. You know, you read the first few lines. Oh wait, this is a handwriting exemplar. You know, you are, you know, the difference being that you know this from your law enforcement experience.
Well, why the hell would somebody send us one of them things? So we can cross-reference handwriting? Don't make much sense to me.
I don't know, Benji. I don't think it was for us. A test for us necessarily, but
Yeah, and at the bottom down there, at the bottom of each one of them is the seal of this demon person.
I don't very well like that seal down there. I think
Do
we
you
all
remember
know
that we lost that seal in the room that we packed up?
Oh,
That's why we packed
In
it
the
up.
building that we handled.
yeah, it was gone. You're right. I completely forgot about that.
A weird question. Do you fellas remember after we saw that seal, directly after there was a car crash or a horn or something, and we saw a feller with dreadlocks and a snake draped around his shoulders? Y'all remember that? A long time ago, but I remember it like it's yesterday.
Yeah, well, Benji, I think, was the
remember it
one who
yesterday.
actually saw it.
The only one?
Or maybe the rest of you did, but Benji went after it,
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
remember
Bill.
that.
And a website.
Well, the fire alarm went off when I opened this.
So, Joe, can you recap us what exactly was person the demon of? 'Cause we did go
Well,
to
if
that
you
website.
go to Demon Web 101,
It's been
All right,
down
do you
for
have
a
a link?
while. Is it
is,
up again?
is it still bad?
I don't know. It was down last time we checked, wasn't it?
Let's
Yeah.
let's take a look. It is currently up.
So is
Yeah, Demon Web.
If you go to Demon Web 101, you go down on to person, you will see that person is a great king of hell, being served and obeyed by 22 legions of demons. He knoweth of hidden things, lost treasures, of all things past, present, future. Occupying either a human or aerial body, he entereth truly of all secret and divine things of earth and the creation of the world. Person is depicted as a man with the face of a lion, carrying a ferocious viper and riding a bear. Before him, there can be heard trumpets sounding.
Oh, that was the car horn.
Yeah. And the fire alarm. Damn. This doesn't seem too good, fellas.
Yeah.
I did not see a bear.
Maybe there
well-
is a hairy homosexual man somewhere in the background that we did not pick up on.
Well, and Benji, Benji has gotten deep into the occult and has gotten deep
Oh,
into
yeah.
the supernatural.
Deep.
Keep in mind, your supernatural. What is your supernatural skill currently?
What's the chart?
Supernatural skill
Or unnatural?
is unnatural 28.
So here's an interesting thing about having an unnatural of 28, which is ludicrously high, by the way. That is insanely high. Your sanity can be no higher than 72 ever.
Huh.
Because your unnatural skill is that high.
My maximum is already it's only 71, so that wouldn't happen anyway.
Yeah. So, but let's say you were able to get some sanity back. It can never go higher than your natural skill. Than 100 minus your unnatural skill.
Ah, I see.
But Benji,
So
go ahead.
if I continue to gain points in unnatural, then that's just going to keep lowering.
You will eventually go completely insane. There'll be no way back.
Yeah, cool. That's a cool mechanic.
Yeah. So Benji, you having dug into everything you have, like you know of this ritual. You know of the ritual to summon these things. You know, you might even have had at some point in time or handled a copy of the Ars Goetia, like an actual copy, like an old school copy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in your studies and whatnot. So, so I mean, you guys are here in this bar, and you've been asked to go to a meeting, presumably. You know, well, we are playing Delta Green, so presumably by Delta Green. But there's this weird shit on the backside.
Yeah, why would Delta Green be affiliated with? That seems completely wrong. Seems wrong.
Is there anything on this document that like might hint at some sort of ritual? Like, there any parallels, like coded parallels?
If you want to really, really dig into it, if you want to like really study the shit out of it,
I would like to.
like I'm gonna need some type of skill roll. Like I'm trying to figure out what it would be.
Occult. Or
It depends on what the clue is.
I don't know if I want to let you use occult for everything. Seeing as that it is so stinking high.
Yeah,
you know what I will do though? I will let you do an intelligence, but it will be an intelligence at a -40.
Yeah, Benji's probably pretty drunk by now.
Yeah.
-40, you said?
Yep. Go and take a -40 penalty.
All right.
Benji's still pretty smart, so as you're like digging into this.
That would be a failure with a 91 over 50.
Yeah.
Benji's getting a little sloppy.
Getting a little bit sloppy. I will say Jean has had to go for just a sec, but you know, Benedict having an art skill in writing and journalism can also make a check using that skill at a -20. I'm gonna say.
So
He can use what skill at a -20?
He can use his journalism or writing skill at a -20.
Benedict. Okay.
Benedict
I
can.
can maybe with Benji here talking about the occult and stuff, can Hank try to roll an occult?
Yeah.
His is low, but can he roll on just like because he's kind of on that?
It'll be a
contract now,
-40
Benji's
again.
around. Oh, well,
Unless
there's
you-
no way I'll be able to.
I will say
actually
if
roll above 0.
you want to do a different skill, man.
outside of occult.
If you want to do an intelligence at a -40,
Yeah, I'll do that.
yeah, give that a go.
Fumble. Jeez, 22.
Fuck yeah, you got no idea.
Spills beer all over his invite.
Yeah, one of the invites is utterly destroyed.
I just came up with a name for Benji's signature drink.
What is it?
Molotov cocktail.
Molotov?
Alright,
Yeah, because it's got
It's got
olive juice.
olive.
and
Ah,
sauce.
gotcha.
Spicy.
pun.
Molotov cocktail.
Gotcha.
Pun.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Alright.
That's good.
Alright, so I can do an art at -20. I think he'll.
Yeah,
he'll
give me
try
a
and
journalism,
take
your journalism skill at -20.
That is a failure. Oh,
You guys try to dig into this and you're not able to get anything.
Yeah.
It just, yeah. You're
Well,
just not able to figure
fellas,
anything
I
out.
don't know if there's any more to study or we can gather from this. The best thing is for us to be on our toes when we get there.
The last time we solved the situation just by burning the whole fucker down. I think that's a pretty good starting point.
Benedict.
Get there and set that
Benedict.
motherfucker on fire.
Benedict absolutely grabs an ashtray and starts to burn his ones.
Wait,
He
no,
does.
not
Invite.
here. Don't shit where you eat.
Oh wait, the invite. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about burning the bar down.
The whole thing down. It's not like this place is burned. Let's go.
Jeff's
just got
like,
here.
Jeff's like, Benji, no!
I'm sorry, Jeff. I gotta do it.
So you just like you're pouring Everclear over the bar and lighting it.
Just screaming Molotov cocktail.
So yeah, so I mean, are you guys gonna do that? You're just gonna step out back, like it's like a quiet alleyway. There might be a drunk passed out in it, but like, are you guys like burn your invites in the back alleyway kind of thing?
Yeah, for sure. Benji will whip out a Zippo because he smokes now, and
Probably just gonna burn the one with the symbol on it, the symbol of person.
They all have
they
it.
all have person.
Okay, but the second layer, right? That's the second layer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is
Okay,
the-
gotcha.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what I think?
Probably a critical piece of evidence
What?
that we needed, but you
Can
know what?
I think before Hank burns
Rather
it,
not
he
know.
makes what's going on. He makes is maybe this note written over
What do you mean?
like the front of the
Are you talking
like,
about charcoal rubbing or something?
like someone's added to this front layer note, the one that has the Delta Green symbol on it.
I
should we,
don't.
like-
I don't know if I understand what you're asking.
Like let's say like someone changed the letters, like if it was an L and someone made a P out of it and shit like that. Does that make any sense?
What makes you wonder that? Do you see something suspect? Taking another
Because
look at
there's
it.
like these scribbles, like someone practiced doing something on the front. It's like someone's trying to match the handwriting of this original note or some shit like that because it's a handwriting test.
It is a little bit wonky.
That's just yeah.
What if Hank did a?
I
the
mean,
same
we
thing
already
he did
rolled
on the
or something, but
I mean, to tell if they're right-handed or left-handed on the second layer.
oh, could Hank do that for forensic? on the
With
second-
your forensic skill that you have, like it seems like these, it looks like these are written by the same person.
Okay.
okay, that was my only last.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I said that, but maybe I didn't.
Okay,
Highlight it enough, but
okay.
It's just
Interesting.
the layout of the first note does look like wonky. Like
Well, the scribbles going up to the P, that little thing etched out to the right. The R has a dash. The D on the friend has like a hard dash.
yeah, well, the second page looks way neater. Like of our friend is kind of cocked at a slant, and of course the name is all fucked up. What does that tell us, if anything?
Well, fellas, do you not? Maybe we should keep one just in case the invite. So maybe Hank will not burn his.
And I guess we should phone this number at some point to make a reservation.
Oh yeah, there's a little phone number down there.
yeah, there's.
I mean, do we will we really remember this address? I'm just gonna keep one of them just in case.
there's no way I'm gonna remember
Hello,
this.
my friend.
Does anybody have an Apple iPhone on them? Those are good machines.
Looking for sponsors.
Is that what it is? We're trying to get sponsored by Apple now. Yeah, that'd be.
Steve Jobs did a hell of a thing. That's Steve Jobs with them Apple iPhones.
They're so slick.
So what are you guys gonna do?
Benedict phones the number.
All
right.
Okay. Here.
You. All right. Yeah, you found the number. It's pretty late in the evening. I would say it's probably like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. You know, if Benji's playing a show at a bar. It's pretty late in the evening, but you give a call and you hear it's like hello, Gateway Bridges.
Oh yes, hello. I believe I have a reservation. I should be. It's a birthday reservation for my friend Richard Zaloni.
1 second, sir, and you hear some pages, and you say, "Oh yes, are you talking about the day after tomorrow? Got you guys. I've got you at 8 o'clock p.m. I've
8
got you
o'clock.
in the private dining room.
Excellent, that's great. I wanted to just check what sort of attire we need to bring, and also wanted to check who'd be organizing this party. I have some friends, and I just wanted to see if I needed to bring a gift for my other friends.
Well, let me see here. It looks like the room was reserved by a Marbus.
God damn it.
Who
Marbus, he's a great friend. Don't say no more. Say no more, good
Yeah.
fellow. Thank you very much. And is this a smart kind of black tie event? Or going casual?
Business casual, sir. We don't have a dress code. But I think business casual. It sounds like a great time. We're really looking forward to serving you guys. And keep in mind that was she said Marbus, as in Marbas, not Marcus.
Yeah, I was like, how do we know Marbus?
Yeah. So yeah.
We don't know Marbus.
All right.
I mean, I interpreted that as it was his shitty take on using a pseudonym because he's a shit agent and he's a shit dude. No character.
He looks at Benji's like that. That's a fucking Marcus.
I like the idea that you're standing in the alleyway and you mouth Marcus like to to the other two.
Gee, hawks a loogie and spits and he pisses on a loogie.
Jesus. So she's like, well, we're really looking forward to serving you guys, and we'll see you then.
Thank you. Goodbye.
We're already in Boston, right?
You guys are in New York. If you want to make it to Boston, it won't take a train ride. Yeah, plenty of time.
Okay.
I swear to God, if we show up and this is Marcus and we're his only friends and this is his idea of some birthday party, I'm gonna shoot him on the line.
He's just like having a birthday party for himself, and he's inviting you guys.
We're his only friends.
That's classic Marcus.
Classic
That's
Marcus.
self-centered piece of shit. Narcissistic, some might say.
Y'all wanna head there tonight?
When is the birthday party scheduled for? Is it like the next day or something?
2 days.
2 days.
I might have to go home and feed Muskie.
Oh yeah.
Get some clothes packed up and whatnot.
Well, I better prepare some soup for the boys while I'm gone. I guess I'll go back to the house too.
It's weird. You don't remember all of Hank's adult sons living with him. It's weird.
We'll
soup.
dig into that eventually.
I like the idea that every time when this comes up, that Benedict and Benji just give each other the side eye just real quick and just don't address it.
Do either of you know a good pigeon babysitter?
And now the side eyes between Benji and Hank.
Everybody's a little bit unhinged.
Everyone's got a little weird.
Can't say I do, Benedict. I'm sure.
Fair enough. I thought I'd ask.
Just
You have
leave
to
some
ask.
food out there and leave the window open so we can get some fresh air, and I'm sure it'll be fine.
You could probably get Barlow to look after Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
Is that his new assistant or something?
It's his brother.
The older brother.
Brother. Okay, right.
Me and Barlow aren't on great terms, but you know what? I could give him a call. Old Barlow.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys are gonna get ready, so what's the plan? Like, are you guys gonna leave to head to Boston tomorrow on the 31st, and just kind of get everything
think-
ready tonight?
Hank would suggest we get there, yes, the day before or something, just to scope out the place, and do a little bit of investigation prior to the.
Yeah, Benji would probably defer to his knowledge of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think we need anything for this trip? I say this because
Guns.
I've come into some money and I'm not afraid to use it.
gonna splash the cash.
I've always wanted one of them rail guns they put on Navy ships.
I think this came up last season too.
Just think about it. If we had a rail gun in that last situation, it would have been over with in a couple of hours.
Think about how
He's
easy
got a
it would have
point.
been.
He's got a point.
Can we? Maybe, but for real, maybe we should get some nice. Weapons.
But guys, seriously.
Maybe we could get some nice weapons and some high tech bulletproof vest and shit like that.
What if we got well, Benedict, you probably already got a smartphone because you're rolling in the dough over there, but I'm still rocking me a Razor flip phone.
Look, I don't mind what we buy. I just want to make the DM's life harder.
Yeah,
Just give me the shopping list, and I'll send it
Let's
over.
really put our heads together. What would be the most problematic
Joe.
thing we could possibly buy?
For real, I think if we're just gonna limit it to make it easy, I think Hank, is there such thing in this mechanic like a nicer weapon that gives you like a plus something on like a shot, like a gunshot or something like that?
There are light, medium, and heavy pistols, which give different amounts of damage. You currently have a light pistol. Well, you probably have your service weapon, which is a medium pistol. These two, I don't know if they have weapons. So
I think at the very least, let's all get heavy pistols.
because last time you guys were operating as FBI agents and you had the kit. Now, you were given the kit, and I don't remember Marcus ever getting it back from you. So if you want to say that you've still got like your FBI credentials, the pictures are 20 years old now, but you've got the badges. You can just do that thing where you flip the badge real quick, like. And you still got the windbreakers, and if you guys want to still say you still got that stuff, you've still got it.
I don't think we'll be coming to the party with FBI, but that would be nice. I guess that could come in handy if we still have the kits.
What time of year is it?
It's
What season?
we're right at the end of August, so it's pretty hot.
So Benji probably wouldn't be wearing that sick ass trench coat.
Probably not the sick ass trench coat he got last time.
Okay. Noted.
But I mean, if you
Y'all
guys
think of
if you guys
anything
want to
else?
get if you literally okay, let me get this straight, Brad. Are you asking you want guns?
I think at the very least, like a better gun. You know,
You guys also have 3 sets of shotguns that you got last time in the bookstore. I will say that you still have those.
yeah.
So
Hank, this is the problem with America. You've got enough guns as it is. Can't
we
get
don't need
something?
more guns, Hank.
Can we use something? Do we have any other options? You
A
sure you
guy,
want that
I mean,
nice
a guy
cigarette?
stumbles out of the bar and trips like a drunk guy. Stumbles and trips, and 3 guns fall out of his pocket.
Look at that goddamn! Look at that
Hey,
fool!
Benedict, you might
Like
have
it's
a
a-
point there.
Like it's Sonic coins. Just
You see,
Some of those, they're right there.
you see a woman pushing a baby in a stroller with a 9mm and it like gumming on a 9mm pistol.
Oh, that's a
And
good
some
starter
ammunition.
pistol. I remember my first 9mm. That was yesterday.
Ammo
all
comes out of the
serious-
cock with the baby,
Yeah.
playing with the ammo.
in all seriousness, like what could have made that mission easier? I mean, I think
That's
at least
what
some
I'm
heavy
thinking.
pistols. The hardest part, I mean, the hardest part of that entire mission was the fight with Michelle, and I don't know, is there some item we could have that would make easy for us to restrain someone extremely fast? Is anything like that coming to mind?
Phaser.
I would say, like, if you want to get that stuff, you can probably, if you want to get some extra stuff, like, it sounds like you want to get black bag equipment. If you want to get that stuff, Hank could make a requisition through the marshals. He'd have to make a roll for it and try to get some of that stuff. You also have someone who has a little bit of illicit cash laying around.
What I would really like to do, what Benji would like to do, he'd be less concerned with firearms, but it would be super helpful to have a laptop and a phone with a mobile hotspot capability, so we can like do internet searches just wherever the fuck we are.
If you want to,
We might
And like, if you could use your own stuff for that, but if you want to get like a burner laptop and some burner phones and stuff, you would have to procure that stuff.
How about this? What if we could get a secure line to Cindy? Like a burner phone to Cindy, so have Cindy as a resource. And then I guess we don't even know what we're prepping for, so maybe we will speak to
Cindy on this.
Marbus.
Well,
and see what we need.
Do we want to include Cindy on this?
Absolutely.
Let's just think about what happened last time we involved in a bond.
More.
And
yeah, I don't. Benedict, I mean, she's a friend at this point. I don't know if I would. Why don't we bring your bird along, huh? Why don't we bring him? Why we gotta bring Cindy?
I might consider that if I can't find a bird sitter.
An emotional support pigeon.
Yeah, I think Hank would. Okay, so Hank will try to make a call to the marshals and get black bag shit. Something to be easier to restrain someone.
like those wrist zip ties.
Or even is there like some kind of like professional chemical you'd use just to knock someone out super fast?
Like chloroform?
Chloroform.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's like a professional version of that.
You know, the thing is U.S. law enforcement
version.
doesn't typically use those kind of things. So no. I imagine Hank going into like the weapons locker. Where's the chloroform around here? Like,
like sleeping gas or some shit like that. I don't know.
What would
James
happen
Bond shit.
if you doused a rag in pepper spray and held it up to somebody's face? Like,
It would.
would that be enough to make them pass out?
jeez, I don't know, man.
So
It doesn't typically make people pass out. Typically, just makes people
Yeah.
scream.
And your hand would be
So-
hurting.
Hank, I think I get what you're saying. We're going to try and get hold of our friend Marbus, if you know what I'm saying, and we can have a good conversation with him. Am I reading you right?
I think so.
At this point, Benedict thinks we're just gonna black bag Marcus. I was hopeful that he's gonna just black bag Marcus.
Hank has no idea what he's talking about and just agreeing. I think that sounds right.
All right,
Sure.
it's gonna try and procure some chloroform and some hand ties and shit.
Well, are you gonna go? Is Hank gonna go to Cindy and try to procure this stuff, or is Benedict gonna go and pay for it out of pocket?
I think Benedict is trying to flaunt his wealth here, so
Okay.
he's gonna do it regardless, and maybe Hank does it too because maybe there's a miscommunication.
Okay. If you want to do that, then I would say for everything, if you want to get like a professional level, like an actual
Kidnapping gear.
police stun gun, because not like those little stun guns you get like, you can get at the store, like actual police stun guns that completely incapacitate someone. Bags, wrist zip ties, a little bit weird, but you can probably get a hold of them at a sex store or something. Like there's ways to get them, and they're not crazy illicit. I would say you could probably get everything you need for, I would say, a black bag kit.
Pause.
All right.
The first place your mama was sex store for bags and zip ties.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
For big zip ties,
Man.
you realize the big zip like those zip ties that they like a zip handcuffs are not sold typically. They are a particular thing, right? Like
Okay,
they're
I'll take
not
your word for
they're
that.
not just big zip ties.
I was gonna try
Alright,
Home
alright.
Depot, but
it's a sex store. You guys
Or you
want to
could-
RP that scene?
Or is it-
Benji, while I'm there, do you want me to get you a mask, gimp suit, gimp mask? Is that what you? I got you.
I do like the looks of that Ashley blue ass and pussy in the corner. I hear it looks
Jesus
just like a real
Christ.
thing.
Anyway, Benedict, go ahead and pull off. Yeah, hi, Dace's mom. Go ahead and remove one of those standard expenses that you have. So, like, I'm gonna say, like, it's not hard for you to do.
and large pistols, please.
You wanna go get some big guns as well.
Yeah.
You want Benedict to buy them?
Yeah. If Benedict's okay with it.
All right, this is like that awkward ask. It's like you're pretty much asking me to do illegal shit, but okay.
All right,
You know what? Hank,
here's the
we go
thing.
way back.
You can buy them. That's not a problem. You can buy pistols. Buying pistols in New York or Massachusetts in the year 2015, not super easy. And there's like a 3-week or is it a 2-week waiting period.
Yeah.
So if you want to skirt
gonna have
that,
to go
you're
do
gonna
some
need
illegal
to you're gonna need to make some rolls if you want to, or if you want to try to get something a little bigger from the U.S. Marshals, you might be able to.
Hank, I'm a bit of a pacifist, so my friend, I'll just cover the bill. You just tell me how much it costs you, and I'll just cover you.
Well, I don't want to bring up Michelle, but you could have fooled me with all that nonsense about being a pacifist and whatnot. But sure, we'll. I'll just use my connections at the Marshalls to get some more heavy-duty pistols, and you can find the rest. Is that what we agreed on? Is that what we're agreeing on?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Don't you bring up Michelle again, though.
A little bit of bad blood there.
All right, go ahead and make me some type of roll then, as Hank tries to get him some access to some
Persuade?
off the books stuff. I would say you can make a bureaucracy, you can make a persuade, you can make a law if you want to, if you just want to try to finagle the system. Because there is like they do have like a more extensive weapons locker at the U.S. Marshal's office that goes beyond the typical sidearms and stuff. So,
Well, like you said, he's like kind of not legendary figure, but a well-known figure, and maybe he'll just go to his higher up and try to persuade him to use him for this trip.
that
So
you
that's
need
cool.
3 sets of extra big gear for an off the books, not real U.S. Marshals case. You're gonna go to your boss for that.
For a party.
Just for a jam.
whoever he has the whoever has access, maybe not his boss, but whoever has access.
You might know the guy who works the cage, like or the weapons locker. Like you might know,
Right.
So go ahead. Let's see a roll. You tell me what you get.
Success. 38 under 70.
All right. You are this kind of well-liked kind of Hank's got Hank's got the best stories, man. Like Hank was telling us about how it was working back in the 90s, when he was, hell, you were in your 40s in the 90s, so it's like, you were working back in the 80s and 70s probably, and the guy at the weapons locker, he's like, all right, he's able to, you're able to get it and you don't think it's going to ruffle any feathers, he's like, at first he asked for the authorization and, he's like, I'd seen authorization come across and, you kind of, oh, I'm sure it's coming, just give an old timer a break, I don't get much field work anymore. And he's like, yeah, I'm sure it's fine. You're just so disarming, and he's like, oh, okay. So I'm going to say that he hands over 3 heavy pistols.
Desert Eagles, please.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know what they would actually have. They probably would have Glock 20s. So that's what you have. You have 3 heavy pistols. Not that we need to nitpick that, but...
Bobby, you just let me know if you get any of those Desert Eagles, and I'll come right back. Or you find them in the back.
Fantastic. So if you would have gotten really good score, or if you would have gotten a critical, I would have given you something a little spicier. But for what you did, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, now you've got access to a little bit heavier gear. So everyone add a heavy pistol to your sheet.
And Benedict came back with the stun gun. Stun gun or stun guns?
I would say stun guns. You know,
Cool.
yeah, but like you
Stun
probably go to
guns.
like a surplus store, and they probably have like some police surplus, military surplus stuff, and you able to get that stuff.
So they came back with that, some bags, some wrist ties, and a little special something sexy lingerie for each, for everybody.
For you to wear underneath your
Or-
clothes.
It's so thoughtful.
It's, I thought I'd just spice it up a bit for you.
Okay. By the way, on your sheets, the only difference
What
between a
is-
heavy pistol and the other pistols is that it does 1d12 of damage.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
What if it's Speedos? So we have Glocks and
Yeah.
Speedos,
Yes,
Nice.
actually, perfect.
just like
And
the Life Aquatic.
If we need to go scuba diving, these will come in handy.
Yeah. So you guys, is that all you guys? Are you guys satisfied for your gear selection
Yeah.
that you have before you load up?
I think we've hassled you enough.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right.
Satisfied.
Well, you guys jump on. I don't know what the train is, but you guys jump on a train and head out to Boston. I assume you've got your like, badges and stuff like that, so that you can, you know, if you get caught with a bunch of guns, that you don't get completely obliterated. You know, you can let Hank do most of the talking because he is actually a U.S. Marshal in a lot of cases. Hank, you put in for some time off, I guess. You know, Benji, you don't really owe allegiance to anyone. And I don't know, does Benedict?
Damn right.
Does he have to tell anyone that he's not coming into work?
Benedict just leaves and takes time, and he kind of rolls the dice frequently. But at this point, he's been there for 20 years, so nobody really cares. But
Yeah.
it might cause problems.
I got you. Well, you guys are on your way to Boston for your meeting, and I think that is a great place for us to wrap things up real quick. Here on the back side, I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank everyone for coming in, whether you're listening to a podcast or you're watching it on YouTube or on Twitch. If you like what you're listening to and you want to hear these episodes a week early, consider going over to our our Patreon. We are at patreon.com/greenboxgaming_. And consider being a contributor there. And, you know, we've actually, for anyone who's been listening, for our contributors we already have, I just want to give them a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to Peter, to Kyle, to Steven, who have generously decided to support us. You know, they're our first three
OG3.
patrons. The OG3.
Peter, Kyle, and Steven.
I want to thank you guys for helping us out. You know, us having this coming in, it pays for things like recently I had to upgrade my subscription from the free subscription of Roll20 up to the paid one so that I could put all of the assets in there, so that I could have all the storage capacity. And that Patreon, that money that you guys are so generously giving us, that's what it goes to, is to making the podcast and making this game better. We really appreciate it. Like I said, if you're interested in one of the big bonuses that you probably get from that is hearing the episodes a week early. If you're interested in doing that, head on over to there. The link is also on our Reddit at r/greenboxgaming. That's kind of our HQ. Keep an eye out there and on Twitter for announcements. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me for this episode.
You
Thanks
think
for
we should
running.
send them gift heavy pistols?
Yeah.
I was actually going to say if they upgrade to the $15 tier, we can send them custom Greenbox Gaming Speedos. That would be great.
Okay, just so you know, there is no $50 tier, but not. Let me phrase
By the
that.
time this episode releases.
Let me phrase that. There's not a $15 tier yet, and the Greenbox Gaming Speedos might be there. All right, thanks everyone for joining us today. We will catch you next time. Bye.
Later.
Bye.